I have a midget friend. He's epileptic and he makes pizza for a living. I call him Little Seizures. What is a baker's favorite song by the Cars? Just what I needed. I don't always watch a movie based on a book I read, but when I do, I always point out everything that's different. Why do women fart after they pee? 'Cause they can't shake it, so they blow dry it instead. When someone tells me, "Hey, you look familiar," I tell them, "Yeah, I do porn." The Tony Toons tip of the day. Make sure your vibrator and your taser are 2 different colors. Instead of saying, "And here's your receipt," the cashier should say, "Will you throw this out for me?" Do not, and I repeat, do not accept a friend request from Steve Miller. He's a joker. He's a smoker. He's a midnight toker. Say I. Now spell map. And say Ness. If you sit back and really think about it, a human came out of a human because a human came inside another human. Who remembers the band Fine Young Cannibals? Johnny, we're sorry. Won't you come on home? We worry. I'm not saying that I hate you, but I would unplug your life support to charge my phone. One day, a teacher asked the students to use the word fascinate in a sentence. Well, good old little Johnny raises his hand and says, "My Aunt Caroline has a sweater with 10 buttons, but her tits are so big she can only fascinate." You lost your phone and it's on silent? If you liked it, then you should have put a ring on it. Father, you ever thought that maybe you're single because you have the same taste in men as the police do? A woman goes to see a psychiatrist, but she never expected to hear this shit. They were conducting a group therapy session with 3 mothers and their small children. "You all have serious obsessions." To the first mother, he said, "You're obsessed with eating. You've even named your daughter Candy." He turned to the second mother, "And your obsession is money. Again, it manifested in your child's name, Penny." At this point, the third mother gets up, takes her little boy by the hand and says, "Come on, Dick, we're leaving." Good old little Johnny was in class, and the teacher said, "What we are going to do, kids, is I'm going to give you a letter, and I want someone to raise their hand. And if I call on you, I want you to give me a word that begins with that letter." So the teacher says, "A," and little Johnny immediately with his hand in the air, but the teacher knows better because he'll probably say asshole or something. So she calls on Mary, and Mary says, "Apple." "Very good," the teacher replied. "Okay, how about the letter B?" And little Johnny again with the hand. "Please, please, please pick me." So the teacher thinks for a moment, and inside her head, she knows very well that he'll say bitch or bastard. So she skips him over and calls on little Brad, and little Brad says, "Boat." "Very good, Brad," the teacher says. "Now, how about the letter E?" the teacher asks. Immediately, little Johnny's eyes light up, and this time he said, pick me, miss, I know one," just begging for a chance. So the teacher pauses for a solid 10 to 15 seconds, and she can't think of one bad word that begins with the letter E. So she reluctantly calls on little Johnny, and little Johnny very nicely and calmly says, "Elephant." And before the much-relieved teacher can even exhale, little Johnny puts both hands up in front of himself, approximately 2 feet apart, and yells out, "With a fucking cock this big!" I want to apologize to anyone that I have not yet offended. Please be patient, I will get to you shortly. I either give too many fucks or no fucks at all. It's like I can't find a nice middle ground for moderate fuck distribution. Your mom said, "Get yourself a man that can cook." She didn't mean crack or meth, Karen. Will I ever stop being a sarcastic asshole? Find out next week on I Think the Fuck Not. I feel bad for parents nowadays. We have to explain the birds and the bees and the birds and the birds and the bees and the bees and the birds that used to be bees, the bees that used to be birds, and of course, the bee that looks like a bird but still has a stinger. A Mexican is strolling down the street in Mexico City and he kicks a bottle that's lying on the street. Suddenly, out of the bottle comes out a genie. The Mexican is stunned. The genie says, "Hello, master. I will grant you one wish. Anything you want." The Mexican begins thinking. "Well, I really like drinking tequila." Finally, the Mexican says, "I wish to drink tequila whenever I want, so make me pee tequila." The genie grants him his wish. When the Mexican gets home, he gets a glass out of the cupboard and pees into it. He looks at the glass and it's clear. Looks like tequila. Then he smells it. Smells like tequila. So he takes a taste, and it is the best tequila he has ever tasted. The Mexican yells to his wife, "Consuela! Consuela, come quickly!" Consuela comes running down the hall, and the Mexican takes another glass out of the cupboard and fills it. He tells her to drink. It's tequila. Consuela's reluctant, but goes ahead and she takes a sip. It's the best tequila she's ever tasted. The two drank and partied all night long. The next night, the Mexican comes home from work and he tells his wife to get 2 glasses out of the cupboard. He proceeds to fill the 2 glasses, and the result is the same. The tequila is excellent, and the couple drinks until the sun comes up. Finally, Friday night comes, and the Mexican comes home from work, and he tells his wife, "Consuela, grab 1 glass from the cupboard, and we will drink tequila." Well, his wife gets the glass from the cupboard. She sets it on the table, and the Mexican begins to fill the glass. And when he fills it, his wife asks him, "But Pancho, why do we need only 1 glass tonight?" Pancho raises the glass and he says, "Because tonight, mi amor, you drink from the bottle."